What's up, gamers? It's GoldDemon12 here, back with another, well, I'd say multi-gotcha video. I don't even know what to call it, but we're going to be looking at the revenue charts for this. A lot of people talk about this. They use this from a reference for success in a game. It's not always the best, of course, because Sensor Tower only grabs mobile data of specific regions, so on and so on. You guys get the idea. So disclaimer, always take this with a grain of salt, and I'm here to try to contextualize it and explain why I find stuff like this very interesting, because, well, I predicted this a while ago before some of these games came out, like Wuthering in specific, which I have already looked over this a little bit, the massive fall off, and a lot of it's because the game itself just wasn't anything that crazy, not that good, so people haven't been playing. The honeymoon period is kind of over for a lot of people, so they're no longer playing Wuwa, and additionally, other games came out like Zenless and then Genshin's, brand new updates, so on and so on, right? So there's a lot of stuff to think about in terms of frame of reference for these games, in terms of their actual numbers. Now, of course, I don't play every gacha game, so I can't say for all of them. I can just say for mainly the Hoyoverse ones, in terms of, like how good they're doing and all that stuff, right? So, yeah, if we're going to look into this, we have the monthly sales reports for the August, so the 8th month, right, of the year, 24, and, well, what we have here at the top, and actually, I could just go over to the main one we're looking at, the global one for revenue for, all games, right, all regions, all that stuff. AFK Journey, right? Arena is the other game, is a whopping 71 million all the way at the top. I know nothing about this game, but damn, that's impressive. The fact that this is like one of the first times I've ever seen a Hoyo game, like, as much as I've been paying attention to it, because I'll be honest, before I wasn't really paying attention to this sort of thing because I don't really care. Anyways, first time I've actually seen non-Hoyo game at the top in like recent memory, right? Typically it's like Genshin or Star Wars at the top, right? And a couple other things poke up there, but that is insanely impressive that they've like more than tripled their income, right? Like insane percentage gain over here for AFK Journey. No idea what happened there. It wasn't an anniversary, I don't think, because this game is pretty new, right? So I honestly have no idea why this is blowing up, but good for that game because, there's a lot of ads for it, so on and so on. I'd assume they probably just did a bigger marketing push this month and it got people into the game or some like huge celebration. I really don't know. Based on the numbers and what I've seen, it wasn't that good, but then people just got around to trying it out and this has surged its popularity. So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens, but that is very impressive for AFK Arena. Love in Deep Space. I've since been told this is like a dating sim, but has actual combat. Crazy. It has like it has like, if anybody knows what Arknight's Infield looks like, or sort of like a traditional Chinese MMO or like something like that, like a traditional MMO style of combat, that's what it actually has. So it's a dating sim with like actual combat. So I understand why it's so high. I'm just shocked that like this came out of nowhere because I didn't hear anything about this game until I saw, in the last revenue video I did about it. But it actually doesn't look bad, which is insane to like say, but yeah, I honestly, I don't even know, bro. This is crazy that it's still doing strong, consistent numbers month to month right here. That is really good, and that says a lot about the game. So who knows? Maybe if you're into more husbandos and all that stuff, maybe you'd actually like that game. But yeah, that's actually insane numbers, right? And we have Honkai Star Rail here at number 3 being at from 41 million to 39 million, or a little bit above 39 million. It's honestly to be expected because this patch is not the most popular of characters, right? So you had Yulini, who is a Clara 2, right? Which a lot of people either are like, oh, I already have Clara, or they just don't like the character, right? She's not the most insane popular. And then you also have, Zhao Cho, Zhao Cho. I'm trying to say his name correctly. I'm probably still saying it wrong. Who is also not very popular, even though he is actually really, really strong and perhaps underrated by a lot of people. Because I'll be real, after doing the testing that I'm still working on that video for and talking with other people, theory crafting all this stuff, I think the order of operations for like pulling Acheron is you pull Acheron and then you pull him and then you pull her light count. So basically, Acheron, Jocho, Acheron signature, Acheron E2, then his light cone, then his E1, right? Is basically the order of operations for like getting Acheron. So like he is insanely valuable for Acheron specifically, and as your account kind of overall, because he functions as like a alternative to having the team buffers for those teams. So is he gonna be better than some of the other ones like Ruame, Robin? Not necessarily, but in scenarios like Pure Fiction, he's gonna be insanely strong because it's 100% uptime. You get it consistently, and it additive damage, the dot synergy, the dot synergy for the other various modes. Very worthwhile character, but a lot of people don't realize it, and so obviously the revenue is going to go down because these are two characters people don't really like and they don't understand how powerful they are. Because you have a really competitive DPS with the counter character, and then funny nihility guy who's also very competitive, but they're not necessarily popular because they're not the most hyped characters, and a lot of people don't even like the designs, right? So I totally understand the revenue, even though personally, from a more like meta perspective, right, I think it should be higher because both characters are really strong. They're not like Firefly Acheron levels, right? But still, was honestly expecting more. We'll see. I'm not gonna lie. I think the revenue for next update, right? So next month, it's gonna be higher because a lot of people will like the newer characters. However, if you look at it from a meta perspective, they are hardly an upgrade, if not incredibly mid, realistically. So that's a whole nother thing. I do plan to talk about that in a future video, but yeah, it's probably what I'm gonna record after this. I'm not gonna lie, but it's like not. I don't know. Again, Star Wars is to be expected. They typically float around this 40 million range per month, so that's to be expected, and that's pretty good. Fate Grand Order, of course, is bringing itself back up at 38 million, which is nice. Genshin Impact, surprisingly, only has 38 million. Like, I don't know how they do the cutoff for this. I'm assuming it's monthly, so the cutoff would have ended on the 31st. But Natlin has been around for a week at this point, at time of recording. Or like, almost a week, like 5-6 days, right? It would have came out on like Wednesday, the 28th, right? Or no, would it be Tuesday? No, it'd be Tuesday. Yeah, it'd be Tuesday, the 27th, right? In this new character, from what I've seen, is pretty popular, pretty good. But you're telling me even the new release of a region on a top-up refresh, you're not hitting the top? Only 38 mil? Like, what? Now, granted, this is only mobile. I'm sure it's doing great on other platforms. But that's why I want to talk about like Zinla specifically later once we get to it. What? New region for like the game that kind of popularized this genre is only this low? Like what? I mean, look, the game objectively is mid. All right, it just is what it is. But I thought this would have done way better. To be honest with you, like I don't know. I mean, look, I did criticize in my video about actually like whenever I reacted to this, that the game itself in terms of how in their marketing, the game and the marketing in terms of what they're changing to the game to make it better in terms of quality of life, and as well as the actual marketing for it and the tactics that they use, like the cheer thing, the social event to get free weapons and stuff like that. These tactics to actually get people to come and pay attention to the game. Uh, but I thought it would have been higher because of all that stuff. To be honest, because Genshin's always had strong marketing push, and then stuff doing it like that social event is really, really good for pushing games out there. So I'm kind of shocked. I don't know if it's people like having the awareness or not, or if the game's truly fallen off. Because actually, let's pull this up. There's no there's no way that it would have. Yeah, no, wait. Oh. Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Past 12 months. Past 5 years. Wait, what? Uh, 2022 would have been Sumeru, right? And then 2023 would have been Fontaine. Around here, August. Wait, really? damn, I mean, shit, I did make a like thumbnails of saying dead game or like Genshin's back, but like, huh. Now again, this is worldwide. South Korea really loves searching up Genshin. Again, we can talk about the nuance of like search results, and compare all these different data points, so on and so on. Like, hopefully you understand like one data point is not enough to determine certain things. It doesn't give you enough data to make an accurate assumption and whatnot. But yeah, I thought it would have been way higher. I don't know why it's so low. I don't want to stick too much on this. I want to move on, not make this video too long. But yeah, that's very interesting. Zenless Zero being the bottom of the three, which is to be predicted. But what's unpredicted is still top 5. A lot of people were bashing on the game, and this is like sort of the main reason I'm doing this video, is that the game is actually, in my opinion, the best gacha game out there right now. To be fair, I haven't tried this Love and Deep Space or AFK and Journey or Fate Grand Order, but Fate, I think it's purely because Fate is just a property that people really enjoy. The other two, I cannot really comment on. Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, it did have its anniversary pretty recently. It's now into worldwide download celebration, although I would expect higher sales personally, but it is what it is. And then so on. And then everything down here, we're seeing an impressive, gain with Arknights. And then everything else is pretty much dropping, is what it looks like for the most part. Are getting some decent game in various locations. Dragon Ball Legends, of course, drops. The game's not good, so on and so on. Yeah, but I want to focus mainly on Zenless Sim Zero here. This is to be expected, obviously, the launch of the game, so it's going to be a massive fall-off. And I wouldn't say the Robo Girl is really that popular. Personally, I do like her as a character. She's pretty cool. Design-wise, it's like whatever, and Kit is very good, so... Yeah, I mean, this is mostly to be expected after the, very strong launch that it had. But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see going forward. I don't know if Zenless has anything like going on that's going to be like super hype for a lot of players. I do think if people should, I know like a lot of these games are casual audience, but I really think you should be looking towards meta, because all these limited characters look like insane, like from a meta perspective, and like very interesting for a pool wise. And yeah, we'll see where this goes going forward, but I don't necessarily think this is a good indicator of like, oh, the game is not doing as well, or like so on and so on, because the main thing why I brought this up is that Zenless actually made way more than what people realized for that, because obviously, again, I don't know how many creators contextualize this and saying that like the first sales of like 10 million was, good or bad, and I know it myself, I did contextualize it with the fact that the other games were in a down period and so on. And in terms of region numbers, Zenless for the China market and oh, okay, wait. Okay, Zenless is doing good. It's holding multiple higher spots. Same with Honkai Star Rail, Genshin too. Okay, so they're all doing pretty good for the like region-specific ones, which is nice to see. But I did contextualize around the fact that they're in the down period and that Zenless would probably fall off. But yeah, this is to be expected. It is, as I said, a really good game. Right, but again, it did make way more. According to this Chinese news outlet, which I grabbed from this Reddit post here, it says Game Look is a rigorous Chinese video game news media, right? Or yeah, English. God, I'm talking way too fast before my mind can catch up for it. But they said, according to them, that in July, Zenless at least made $306 million like minimum, and the highest would be 350 million minimum in US dollars, right? Of course, I'll link this post in the comment section below if you guys want to look into it. But this is way higher than what people saw, because they only saw the mobile platforms, and this is why I'm trying to bring forward with these other games, is that we don't know the projected income for the other platforms, because Hoyoverse themselves doesn't disclose these numbers, right? But this is very impressive for a game, because most games, even AAA games, don't make that amount of money, right? It takes a $60 game to sell 10 million copies to get this, and Zenless is making like that, which is effectively 5 million copies of a game, which is very hard to do for AAA market, right? In like under a month, right? These live service games turn out a huge profit if they're successful. If they're not, well, then you lost a lot of money, because operating costs, right? Operating costs are very high. For Genshin, we know it's around the ballpark of 200 million, like yearly or something like that. Very high operating costs, but they make it back in like 2 months, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I do think this is very interesting to see, because I honestly expect Zenless to go up if people do pay attention more to the meta in terms of what units actually do. But it's interesting to see that it's still up here and like relatively high, all things considered. I would have expected like Star Rail to be doing better, I'm not gonna lie, but again, the unpopular characters and all that stuff matter a lot, right? Yeah, I'm gonna take one pause here to get a drink. So yeah, Zenless is popping off to be expected, not as much as I would hope, because it is very good, but people definitely overhated it. It had a massive like overhate barrage, whenever the game launched and all that good stuff. Or I shouldn't say good stuff, bad stuff, but you guys get what I'm saying. But yeah, let's start with this video by finding Wuthering Waves. So I think the fact that I started this off with saying the game is mid, because it is, Wuthering Waves isn't really that good, and then I can't find it, tells you where the revenue is at. Now, to be fair, let's contextualize this. They launched an update with a... So 1.1 launched, people finish the content, nothing to do, people fall off the game, so on and so on. Or at least they do what I did, play till Cheng Li, and then boom, game bad, they're gone, right? And then, of course, there is 1.2, which is going to release, their big festival, which, again, don't think it was marketed enough, because I don't think anybody knew about it. Because, like, whenever the game launched, we saw the characters from 1.1, so on, right? Nobody knew anything about 1.2. So, like, nobody knew what was going on. People didn't even know. Like, I don't think it was marketed. Like, so I didn't even, like, know there's a festival unless I looked at sussy information, right? So, like, I think there's a fumble there on Kuro's part in terms of, like, promoting the game and, like, other things. And, trailers and all that stuff, so on and so on. But where I'm going with this is that they're launching this update with a character that people probably don't really like the design of. I think the animation team completely fumbled her. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why her chest looks like she's got bowling balls attached to bungee cords. Like, they mess up the animation. It looks just bad and so on and so on. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing there in the animation team. But besides that, character who has a kit that they may not want, or they're trying to buff a certain character, so on and so on, and then a free character. They announced they're giving a character out for free. Of course, it's not gonna make them money. Now, he is second half, so there's that, right? And he hasn't released yet, as far as I know. But I just thought I'd mention that like there's less incentive to pull this update for that reason, right? Character that's like so-so in terms of popularity, and then a free character, right? But then past that, the game itself is the biggest reason why I don't think people are playing. Oh, here's Wuthering Waves at 13.5 million. Pretty big fall off, and which is, honestly, I think this is crazy. It's losing to both regions of Zenless if you separate it. Yeah, it's losing to both regions of Zenless, even if you separate it. And it's all the way down here from where it is. So even at its peak, or not its peak, its fall off of the last update, which again, I did comment on, about how the most popular characters didn't even pull in that much money. Zenless is still doing better, which is kind of crazy. Where are the regions of Wuthering Waves? So we get the global Wuthering Wave. Oh, ooh, wait. Hold on, global Wuthering Waves is at 8 mil. And then the CN Wuthering Waves is at 5.5 mil. Damn, global Wuwa is doing better than CN Wuwa? What the hell? Yeah, that's crazy. It's typically the other way around for these games, to where CN does better than global, because overseas, right, in Asia, they've got a more of a mobile game centric community, right? And so you'll see a lot of times the CN side of the game do way better than the global side in basically every form. Now, Star Rail, I couldn't explain this, but you can see this reflected in basically every other game. But yeah, what? There's a 3 mil difference. That's crazy. Have CN players just had enough? Like, I really don't know how to like talk about this, because my insight only goes so far, having stopped playing the game. And by the way, if you didn't make it this far in the video, comment down below if you do want to see the video of me saying to stop glazing Wuwa. I do want to do like a whole video going over the game and whatnot, because I'm no longer going to cover it and all that stuff. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I don't want to take too much of your time. I do think this stuff is pretty interesting to look at and talk about, but yeah, I mean, all I can really say is that a lot of this is to be expected for Zenless, or Star Rail, right? Genshin unexpected, Wuwa to be expected, because again, I think the game has a lot of issues, and it's issues that I did have talked about quite a lot. Not so much on the channel have been published, you know, because L content creator, but yeah, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe to me on Twitch. I am still working on those other videos I said. As always, I've been Gold Demon. If you want to see me in a maid outfit, someone for my Abbey, of course, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'm being dead ass about that, by the way. And yeah, I look forward to the other Zenless and Starro content. See you guys in the next one.